Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to focus on something simple, practical, and incredibly powerful for your English journey. 70 must-know sentences for everyday English. Sentences you can use in real life, in real situations, to speak naturally and fluently. I'll speak slowly and clearly so you can listen, repeat, and feel the rhythm of real English. These are not textbook sentences. These are the kinds of sentences people use every day, at home, at work, in shops, in conversations, and in daily life. You don't need to memorize everything at once. Just listen, repeat, and let the sentences settle into your mind. Each sentence is a small tool, and together they help you express yourself with ease and confidence. Speaking well is not about knowing many words. It's about knowing the right sentences at the right moment. So relax, breathe, and practice with me. One sentence at a time, one situation at a time, let's build natural, fluent English that feels comfortable, useful, and truly yours. Now that you're relaxed and ready, let's begin by understanding why sentences matter more than single words. When you speak in real life, you don't think in grammar rules. You don't build sentences word by word. You use ready-made patterns. You use familiar sentences that come out naturally, without effort. These everyday sentences help you respond quickly, clearly, and confidently. They remove hesitation, they reduce fear, and they allow you to focus on communication, not perfection. Today, we'll move through real situations, daily life moments where English is actually used. As you listen, try to repeat softly or in your mind. Let the sentences flow. Let your mouth learn the movement. Let's start with simple greetings and daily interactions, because these are the moments that happen every day. These are the first doors to conversation. When you meet someone, you can say, "How's it going?" Or, "How are things?" Or, "Nice to see you." When someone asks how you are, you can respond naturally with, "I'm doing well, thanks," "Not bad," or "I'm a bit tired today." These sentences may seem small, but they are powerful. They help you sound friendly, relaxed, and natural. They help you connect, and connection is the heart of speaking. Now let's move into polite everyday communication. English is full of soft, polite expressions that make conversations smooth. Sentences like, "Could you help me with this?" "Would you mind explaining that again?" "I really appreciate it." These sentences show respect and confidence at the same time. You don't sound weak when you are polite. You sound fluent. You sound comfortable. Politeness in English is not about formality. It's about tone. And when you use these sentences regularly, people respond warmly to you. Next, let's talk about asking for information. This is one of the most common situations in daily English. You might ask, "Can you tell me where this is?" "How do I get there?" "What time does it open?" Or, "Is this the right place?" These sentences are simple, direct, and extremely useful. You don't need long explanations. You just need clarity. And when you practice these sentences, your confidence in public situations grows. You stop feeling lost, you start feeling capable. Now let's move to everyday situations like shopping, ordering food, or services. These moments happen often, and knowing the right sentences makes life easier. You can say, "I'm just looking, thanks." "How much is this?" "Do you have this in another size?" "I'd like to order this." Or, "Can I get the bill, please?" These sentences are practical tools. They help you act naturally. They help you speak without fear. And when you use them, English stops feeling like a test and starts feeling like a helper in your life. Let's continue with sentences for work and daily responsibilities. Even if you don't work in an English-speaking environment, these sentences are useful for meetings, tasks, and communication. You can say, "I'll take care of it." "I'll get back to you." "Let me check." "That sounds good." Or, "I'll need more time." These sentences help you sound calm and professional. They help you express responsibility and clarity. And when you practice them, you begin to feel more confident in professional English situations. Now let's focus on expressing opinions and thoughts, because speaking naturally means sharing what you think. You can use sentences like, "I think this is a good idea." "In my opinion, it could work." "I'm not sure about that." Or, "I see your point." These sentences allow you to participate in conversations without pressure. You don't need strong arguments, you just need a way to express yourself, and these sentences give you that power. Let's talk about agreeing and disagreeing politely, because real conversations include different opinions. You can agree by saying, "I agree with you. That makes sense," or "I feel the same way." And you can disagree politely by saying, "I'm not sure I agree. I see it differently," or "That's an interesting point, but..." These sentences help you stay respectful and confident. They help you participate without conflict, and they make your English sound mature and natural. Now let's move into daily life situations, talking about time, plans, and routines. You might say, "I'm running a bit late. I'll be there soon. Let's do it later." Or, "I'm free this afternoon." These sentences help you manage time and plans smoothly. They are simple, but they are essential. And when you use them regularly, your speaking becomes automatic. You stop translating, you start responding. Next, let's talk about expressing needs and problems, because English is also a tool for solving issues. You can say, "I need some help. Something isn't working. There's a problem with this." Or, "I don't understand." These sentences give you a voice in difficult situations. They help you stay calm, they help you ask for support, and when you practice them, fear begins to fade. Now, let's focus on casual conversation. Small talk. Small talk is not about deep topics, it's about comfort. You can say, "It's really hot today." "That place is nice." "I've been busy lately." Or, "Time flies." These sentences help you start conversations naturally. They help you feel part of the moment, and they help English feel friendly, not formal. Let's also include sentences for emotions and feelings, because speaking naturally means expressing how you feel. You can say, "I'm happy about that." "I'm a bit stressed." "That was surprising." Or, "I feel relaxed." These sentences help you connect emotionally. They help others understand you, and they help your English feel alive, not mechanical. Now, let's practice sentences for ending conversations politely. Ending a conversation smoothly is just as important as starting one. You can say, "It was nice talking to you." "I have to go now." "Let's talk later." Or, "See you soon." These sentences help you leave with confidence and respect. They make conversations feel complete and natural. As you listen to these everyday sentences, remember this: you don't need to memorize all 70 at once. Choose a few, practice them daily, use them in real life, speak them out loud, whisper them, repeat them while walking or resting. Each sentence you practice becomes part of your speaking system. Each one removes hesitation. Each one builds fluency. Speaking naturally is not about speaking perfectly. It's about having the right sentence at the right moment. And these everyday sentences give you exactly that. They help you respond instead of freeze. They help you communicate instead of stay silent. They help you feel comfortable in English, step by step, situation by situation. So keep practicing, keep repeating, keep using English gently and daily. Let these sentences become familiar friends, and slowly, quietly, confidently, you'll notice something beautiful. You're no longer searching for words. They're already there, ready, waiting, flowing. And when the words begin to flow without effort, you start to understand something important. Fluency is not speed, and it is not complexity. Fluency is comfort. It is the feeling that you can handle a situation without panic. It is the confidence that you have something to say, even if it is simple. These everyday sentences give you that comfort. They act like anchors. When your mind feels empty, one familiar sentence appears, and that sentence opens the door to communication. From there, everything becomes easier. Now, let's go a little deeper and talk about how to truly absorb these sentences so they stay with you. The key is repetition, but not boring repetition. Repetition with intention. When you hear a sentence, don't just repeat the words. Feel how it sounds. Notice where your voice goes up and down. Notice the rhythm. For example, when you say, "How's it going?" feel how relaxed it sounds. When you say, "I'm just looking, thanks," feel how polite and natural it feels. When you say, "I'll get back to you," feel the confidence in that sentence. English is not only learned through memory, it is learned through feeling. Another powerful way to practice is to imagine situations. Close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself in a real place. Maybe you're in a cafe. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're talking to a friend. Now imagine the moment clearly. What do you need to say? What sentence fits this situation? When you imagine yourself using English, your brain prepares for real life. This mental practice is just as valuable as speaking out loud. It trains your response system. It makes real conversations feel familiar instead of frightening. Let's talk about confidence again, because confidence grows when you feel prepared. And these 70 sentences are your preparation. You are not walking into conversations empty-handed. You are carrying tools. You are carrying options. You are carrying ready-made language that helps you respond calmly. When you know what to say in common situations, fear disappears. You stop worrying about mistakes. You focus on communication. And communication is the real goal of language. Now, let's look at how to practice these sentences in your daily routine without stress. You don't need special time. You don't need a notebook full of rules. Choose 5 sentences for the day, just 5. Repeat them in the morning. Say them quietly while you get ready. Say them again while you walk or rest. At night, say them once more. That's it. 5 sentences a day is enough. In 2 weeks, you will feel the difference. In 1 month, you will sound more natural. Small daily practice creates big change. Another helpful habit is to personalize the sentences. Make them yours. For example, instead of saying, "I'm busy today," say, "I'm busy with work today," or "I'm busy preparing for tomorrow." Instead of, "I'll see you later," say, "I'll see you after lunch." Personalization makes the sentence meaningful, and meaningful sentences stay in your memory longer. They become part of your natural speaking style. Let's also talk about mistakes, because mistakes will happen, and that's perfectly fine. When you use these sentences in real life, you might say them slightly wrong. Maybe the pronunciation isn't perfect. Maybe the grammar isn't exact. That's okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is connection. Most people understand you even when you make mistakes, and every time you speak, even imperfectly, you improve. Mistakes are signs of growth. Silence is the only real problem. So speak, even if your voice shakes, even if your sentence isn't perfect, speak anyway. Now let's focus on listening, because listening supports speaking. When you hear these everyday sentences used by others, your brain recognizes them. It says, "I know this." And when your brain recognizes a sentence, it becomes easier to use it yourself. So listen carefully to conversations, movies, podcasts, and videos. Notice how often these simple sentences appear. You'll be surprised. Real English is not complicated. It is simple, repeated, and familiar. And that is good news for you. Another important idea is to slow down. Many learners rush because they are nervous, but slow speaking is strong speaking. When you slow down, your pronunciation improves, your confidence increases, your listener understands you better, and you give yourself time to think. These everyday sentences are designed to be spoken slowly and clearly. Use that to your advantage. There is no prize for speaking fast. The real success is being understood. Let's talk about using tone, because tone changes meaning. The same sentence can sound friendly, serious, polite, or confident, depending on how you say it. Practice saying a sentence in different tones. For example, say, "That sounds good," with excitement. Then say it calmly. Then say it politely. This practice teaches you flexibility. It helps your English sound natural and human. Language is not robotic. It is expressive, and your voice is part of the message. Now let's move toward building automatic speaking. Automatic speaking happens when your brain no longer translates. When a situation appears, the sentence appears with it. You don't think, you respond. That is the goal. And the way to reach it is repetition in real contexts. Use these sentences whenever you can, even if it feels small, even if it feels simple. Over time, English becomes your natural response. And now, let's bring everything together. These 70 must-know sentences are not just sentences, they are stepping stones. They help you cross from hesitation to confidence, from silence to speech, from learning English to living English. You don't need to rush. You don't need to pressure yourself. Just practice gently, daily, and with patience. Remember this: every fluent speaker started exactly where you are now. They were once unsure. They once searched for words. They once felt nervous. The only difference is that they kept going. They used simple sentences. They practiced daily, and slowly, English became part of them. The same will happen for you. So keep listening, keep repeating, keep speaking. Let these everyday sentences guide you through real life. And one day, you'll realize something wonderful. You're no longer practicing English. You're simply using it, naturally, fluently, comfortably.